Hi there and welcome to my video. Today I'm going to play with some pigment powders and I'm going to take you along for the ride. I did get them from Let's Resin and they are traditionally added to resin, obviously, to make the resin a different color, but you can also use them as kind of just a medium to make marks on paper. So I'm going to use these stencils and just kind of play around with creating different background papers because it's one of my favorite things to do, but also it's kind of a fun way to try a new product that I haven't really used before. This is not sponsored, it's just something I'm having fun with. So that's the copy paper that I use. And here is some watercolor paper. And I'm also using this mixed media paper, and it's 117 pounds. The watercolor paper is 140 pounds. I wanted to try it on 3 different papers just to see how the colors show up and how they kind of react on the different papers. So if I want to use it in the future, then I'll know how they behave. So I have a water bottle spritzer and I'm just kind of going through the different colors. This set is actually glow in the dark. I just picked it because I figured, I don't know, I wanted kind of brighter colors. We'll see if I regret that later. So I'm putting the stencil on the paper and just spritzing it with water so that the powders can react with the water on the paper. I did find it a little tricky to get the powder out of the container in a more, I don't know, consistent way rather than dropping colors. As you can see, it looks like little dots. But when you're using stencils, I guess it doesn't matter quite as much. And I just spritzed it again using the water bottle just to activate the colors. And then I turned it over and it didn't work out quite as well, but I realized I needed to add some more water to the stencil. So just trying that again. I got this idea from Susanna Rose Art YouTube channel. You can kind of see how the pretty colors are. And she uses a product called Brushos, and that is more of a watercolor pigment. So depending on how this goes today, I may try that as well. But I wanted to give a budget one a try before investing because they are probably closer to like $50 for the set, which is kind of steep. But apparently they last for a long time. So just kind of sprinkling all the different colors. There's a fuchsia, there's a pretty orange color, and then remembering to use the water before I pull it up. This is on the copy paper, so the water definitely saturates it quicker and it's not quite as vibrant, I notice. The colors are a little more muted. So again, I have to wet the stencil. It needs a lot of water to make the color come out. So I feel like there's a delicate balance between using enough water or too much. This kind of really got it wet, as you can see. But we're going to let that dry and just come back to it. Now this is the 140-pound watercolor paper, so I know it can definitely handle the water. And I just wanted to make a lot of different kind of patterns in the background because I know I'm going to be using this either as a substrate and just kind of put stuff on top of it, or I can use it piece by piece. So again, just trying to get the method down for putting these down. They don't really come out very easily. And I noticed that it doesn't combine a lot with the water. It's basically wherever you're putting the powder, it just stays there. It doesn't really blend or move on the paper. So just have to be kind of intentional where I'm putting the actual powder. It really does stay put. It almost has like a sand consistency to it. So just adding some more water. And then as I'm taking the stencils off, I am wetting them again and putting them down on a piece of copy paper, just to kind of create some backgrounds. I feel like that stencil really worked well, and this one too. Just some pretty backgrounds and easy ways to make some interesting marks on the paper. I am using a paper towel because the pigment powder can kind of stain your hands. So I did notice in the different papers, the watercolor paper, the colors weren't as bright, but I'm going to see when they dry how everything looks. So here I'm using just like a bright pink, it's fuchsia and a gold color, and I'm going to make some collage fodder. So I wanted to see how it would work just with like a standalone piece. So again, just trying to control how much powder comes out, but it does seem to stay put wherever I put it down. There's not a lot of blending from the water. And maybe it's just me, maybe I'm not doing it right, but I think, one of the things that is fun with using new supplies is just seeing how they perform, but also like how can I incorporate this into my art in the future? It's a big experiment. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So you can kind of see where the water got under the stencil, but that one worked really well. I wanted to use that stencil, see if I could use the powder on the actual stencil and make an imprint. Yeah, it kind of worked. We'll see how this one goes. Again, not great, but this is something that I already made in a previous video, and I wanted to just add this as an accent on top. I wanted to see how it performed on top of other paint, just to kind of make an extra mark layer. And I'm spraying extra water there. So that looks really nice. I like that accent. Can kind of be a nice afterthought. That was like a mini book I made out of a piece of paper. So there it is. So here is the mixed media paper. The colors are very pretty. Here are all the different collage fodder pieces. They're very muted color. And then here is the copy paper. That actually came out nice on that, nicer than I thought it would. And then here is the watercolor paper. Another piece of the watercolor paper. It was a good experiment to see how each of these papers held the pigment powder and gave me some ideas for some future projects. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope this was helpful to you in your art practice. I'm going to put another fun video for you right here, and I hope to see you again soon.